Get ready to join us on a culinary journey through one of Singapore's most luxurious resorts. Prepare yourselves from mouth-watering dishes to world-renowned chefs and extravagant seafood feasts. We're diving into a food adventure like no other. This video is packed with flavors, fun, and a few surprises along the way. Let's dig in. We begin our experience at a restaurant owned by a well-known British chef, where we'll be sampling through their lunch sets. We ordered a jug of iced tea to share, which is supposed to serve 4 cups. The drink is refreshing, slightly sour, and not overly sweet, with a piece of raspberry in each glass. We were then served some bread and butter, which helped to satisfy our hunger before the meal. There were also crispy, thin flatbreads that were lighter in texture. We ordered the 3-course lunch. The first course featured a short rib croquette, which was tender and flavorful with a satisfying crunch. It was accompanied by celeriac puree and pickled red cabbage. Next, we tried the hamachi ceviche, a dish of raw fish marinated in citrus juices, adorned with intriguing yellow bubbles that appeared to be lemon juice caviar. The flavors were complex, delivering a refreshing and tangy burst. Our second course featured the Ibereco pork chop and seared sea bream. The fish was accompanied by crushed potatoes in a barberry sauce, making it fresh and delicious. The Ibereco pork chop, served with mashed potatoes and charred jalapeno sauce, was slightly tough, a bit dry, and had a straightforward flavor. For the final course, we had tiramisu cream sabayon and Bailey's custard with chocolate crumb. Both desserts were enjoyable and satisfying. Since I loved the entertainment at Hell's Kitchen last time, I decided to try the signature dish before leaving. It was a thick beef tenderloin wrapped in mushroom paste and flaky pastry, a tender and flavorful combination, reminiscent of a steak pie. I absolutely loved it. The next restaurant we visited is named after a renowned French chef. We were particularly drawn to their ultimate seafood platter. Before the platter arrived, we received our sauces and drinks. My sister joined us for this feast, enjoying a sweet mocktail with a peachy flavor, a fizzy lychee juice mocktail, and what turned out to be the priciest regular iced lemon tea I've ever seen. When the platter arrived, it was an impressive 3-tier display featuring lobsters, clams, tartars, shrimps, mussels, and oysters. We received 24 raw oysters, which were incredibly fresh and delicious. We added a squeeze of lemon and a dash of Tabasco to season them, making them cold and plump with flavor. Next up were the mussels, topped with hollandaise sauce. They were tender and creamy, offering a different flavor compared to the usual orange mussels I'm accustomed to. Following that, we had a dozen giant boiled prawns, which were crunchy, sweet, and perfectly chunky. The tartars and prawn mayo were served in bowls. The prawn mayo, one of my favorites, was creamy and delicious. The tartars included salmon and tuna, both savory, tangy, and melt in your mouth good. The platter also came with 4 seasoned clams, which were sour and spicy, perhaps too intense for some. Lastly, the lobster was a highlight, featuring 2 full-size lobsters that were fresh and sweet. The claw was already peeled, making it easy to enjoy the whole piece of meat in one bite. Unfortunately, the lobster's head was empty. Overall, it was an expensive yet satisfying seafood experience that perfectly filled 3 appetites. To top it off, we received complimentary calamansi-flavored macaroons. Koma is a Japanese restaurant that stands out as the most visually stunning place we've visited. It features a life-size bridge and bell, along with charming mini origami cranes for chopstick holders. Even the ceiling is impressive. For drinks, we had a refreshing cocktail with a strong saffron flavor and a mocktail with an intriguing name but a simple appearance that tasted like tonic water with a cooling effect. Our small bites have arrived, and they look impressively creative. First, we have vegetable sushi wrapped in soy paper instead of the typical seaweed. It's crunchy, refreshing, and makes for a light appetizer. Next up is salmon sashimi paired with roasted jalapeno, served on a pillow crack-filled with creamy smoked avocado. The salmon is tender and melts in your mouth, making these delicious bite-sized treats. Even the ground, made from blank sesame seeds, is edible. Our main course has arrived, steaming hot and flavorful, bringing to mind a Zichar stall's Mui fan, rice with gravy. Moving on to the steak, it's a substantial portion, perfect for sharing. The meat is tender and juicy, with a miso glaze that's sweet and savory, much like teriyaki sauce. It's served with a side salad and wasabi, which pair nicely together. However, the steak does have some bones, which take up part of its weight, so it might feel a bit small for two people. Interestingly, the mini origami cranes provided with the meal are discarded after each customer, so feel free to take them if you like. Finally, we enjoyed our desserts. The strawberry shortcake, served in a charming dim sum basket, was a creamy and delightful treat. We also had a scoop of refreshing strawberry sorbet. Everything in this plant was edible, including the pot. Overall, it was a fun experience, though quite pricey. Moving on to my best dish recommendation is the beef tenderloin wrapped with mushroom paste and flaky pastry. It was highlighted as a tender and delicious combination, likened to eating a pie with steak with particular enthusiasm and love. This stood out as the most impressive or enjoyable dish in the experience. Other food recommendations include foie gras, a luxurious French delicacy made from duck or goose liver, often served with fruit compote or toasted brioche. Sushi omakase, a chef's choice of high-quality sushi, offering a curated experience of seasonal and fresh ingredients. Gourmet burgers. Look for burgers made with high-quality meats, unique toppings, and artisanal buns. Try one with truffle aioli, caramelized onions, and aged cheddar. Wood-fired pizza. Pizzas baked in a wood-fired oven with a crispy crust and fresh, high-quality toppings. Ramen. A comforting Japanese noodle soup with rich broth, tender pork slices, and toppings like soft-boiled eggs and scallions. Dim sum. Small, flavorful Cantonese dishes like steamed buns, dumplings, and spring rolls. Try a mix of sweet and savory options. Falafel, deep-fried chickpea balls served in pita bread with fresh vegetables and tahini sauce. Tiramisu, an Italian dessert made with layers of coffee-soaked ladyfingers and mascarpone cheese, dusted with cocoa powder. Macarons, delicate French cookies with a crisp shell and chewy center, available in various flavors like pistachio, raspberry, and chocolate. Baklava, a sweet Middle Eastern pastry made with layers of phyllo dough, nuts, and honey. We'll also have vegetarian or vegan options such as stuffed portobello mushrooms, large mushrooms filled with a mixture of vegetables, cheese, or grains, then baked to perfection. Vegan Buddha bowl, a colorful bowl filled with grains, roasted vegetables, greens, and a flavorful dressing. Eggplant parmesan, breaded and baked eggplant slices layered with marinara sauce and cheese, then baked until bubbly. And that concludes our video showcasing the world of luxury. If you enjoyed this content, please show your support by giving us a thumbs up. We appreciate you tuning in, and we look forward to having you join us in our upcoming videos.